Jake Paul's newest physical upgrade has left fans stunned as he unveils a leaner, more explosive build heading into his clash with Anthony Joshua. His body looks sharper and more sculpted, reflecting months of heavy conditioning and a laser-focused camp. The transformation signals that he's approaching this matchup with unprecedented seriousness, adding muscle, discipline, and self-belief as he prepares for the biggest test of his career. Jeff analyzes how Jake Paul could engineer an upset against Anthony Joshua, zeroing in on timing, rhythm, and recent development. He points out that Jake has stayed active, moving from one camp to the next and competing regularly, a cycle that keeps a fighter tuned in, confident, and mentally sharp. Joshua, on the other hand, has gone through stretches with less ring time, which can dull reactions, slow adjustments, and make the early rounds more difficult. Jeff also brings up age. Jake is younger, still climbing, and physically evolving, while Joshua is edging into the later part of his prime. Jake's upgraded physique further reinforces this momentum. Jeff suggests that all these elements combined could give Jake a surprising window of opportunity. When the bell rings,
Paul, on the other hand, looking at his box rec, he's had 6 fights since 2023. And one of them was against Mike Tyson. But we all seen what happened in that fight. Mike Tyson was well past his prime. Where Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is, well, I'm not going to say he's coming into his prime because he had some great wins earlier on in his career before he lost to Usyk twice. And by the way, when he did lose to Usyk, the last one was a split decision. It was a pretty close fight. So now this fight is matched. And I just want to look at the tail of the tape. Now, looking at the age difference, we've got 28 years old compared to 36 years old. So I guess the advantage there goes a little bit towards Jake Paul. 28-year-old is better than a 36-year-old. But that being said, we've got talking about experience and everything else, what comes with being 36 years old at Anthony Joshua's level. And then, like I mentioned, the heavyweights kind of seem to prime a little bit older. Now, come down to the height and the weight. This is the big one. 6'1" versus 6'6". 200 pounds versus 252 pounds. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua. The reach advantage is a lot, which we would expect. Amateur fights, we can see that Jake's only had one, where AJ's had 43, but 43 of them are including at the highest level, Olympic level. And yes, he won the Olympic bloody gold medal, if I don't need to remind you. Now, then the pro record, Jake Paul has had 13 fights, lost 1. AJ has had 28 fights, and he's lost 4 with 25 KOs. And the one person that Jake Paul lost to was Tommy Fury. Now, can we compare Tommy Fury with Anthony Joshua? Not at all. It's like night and day. So now I'm going to talk about the rules of this fight, and I'll give you my prediction, which is going to shock a lot of people after this. So, what are the rules? The bout will take place.
Analysts take a deeper look at Jake Paul's sparring with heavyweight partners, breaking down the mutual benefits of these sessions. For the bigger fighters, the draw is obvious. A sizable paycheck and exposure that comes from working with a major attraction. It also gives them high-level practice without the pressure of a real fight. For Jake, trading shots with naturally larger men shows commitment to preparing for Joshua's size and strength. These rounds force him to push his stamina, timing, and composure far beyond his usual comfort zone. Experts note that the intensity of this work proves Jake is all in on rising to the challenge.
I know they're getting a lot of money to be there, and it's easy work. But what is in that for Lawrence Okoli, Frank Sanchez, and Jared Anderson?
Easy money. I don't know how much he'll be paying sparring partners. I assume to get those caliber of sparring partners in, it's got to be big money.
Lawrence Okoli's got a fight coming up. If you're Joe Gallagher, you go spar Jake Paul. Is that going to help you?
No, absolutely not. Are you going to get a bit of profile from it, perhaps? People are going to hear your name?
Yeah.
Does that help? I remember going to spar with Kessler, and I got £500 or euros for the week. It was the hardest money I've ever earned in my life.
But how much did you learn from?
Yeah, me, bundles.
Yeah. What's Okoli learn? I don't get it.
No.
I do get it, the money. But when you got a fight coming up, I'm thinking, really? Are you going to get anything out of that sparring that's going to help you in your fight? Maybe you are. Maybe I'm just completely diminishing Jake Paul's ability, but I'm struggling. I really am.
Fair play to Jake Paul. I mean...
And you're right, there's a bit of a conflict there because Joshua used to manage him.
Yeah, it was through 258, right?
Yeah. But surely they're smashing him to pieces. Surely Jake's going, oh, what the fuck? This is fucking horrible.
Every single one of those 3 fighters there could annihilate him in a round.
Yeah, so are they not doing that?
Tyron Woodley offers an unexpected comparison when asked about Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou. He says Jake is clearly faster than Ngannou, and that extra speed becomes crucial, especially against a heavyweight like Joshua. Woodley adds that Jake's punches carry more pop than people expect, and that certain shots might even feel heavier than Ngannou's simply because they arrive quicker. That blend of quickness, and sneaky power leads Woodley to believe this fight won't resemble Joshua's short demolition of Gnu at all. Instead of getting blasted out early, Woodley predicts Jake will drag the bout into deeper rounds. He believes Jake's conditioning, footwork, and willingness to take chances will help him survive longer than anyone forecast. Woodley also breaks down the strategic contrast. Gnu throws thunderous, committed swings that create openings, while Joshua is more methodical, controlled, and measured. With Gnu, the danger is immediate. With Joshua, it's calculated. Woodley says that difference shifts this matchup from a quick explosion into a prolonged chess match.
This Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight, do you think Jake has lost his mind? You know him probably as well as anyone.
I mean, Jake has been lost his mind. Like, what's new? Like, he lost his mind when he fought me. He lost his mind when he fought Anderson, when he fought Nate. He lost his mind when he wanted to fight professionally and switched over from amateur. It's really kind of been a theme. And I feel like the only person that hurt him ever was me. The only person that he lost to was somebody that actually boxed him, that actually took him serious, used the jab, moved around. And I feel like we've seen fights where Anthony didn't do that, and we've seen fights where he did. Depending on which version Anthony Joshua comes out, depends on if Jake has what we would call a chance. When you fighting, if you got knockout power, you got belief in yourself, you got some speed, agility to move around, you always have a chance. You know what I mean? We've seen crazier things happen. Francis Ngannou is a terrible comparison to this happened to Francis. He's not even built the same as Jake. I would say Jake's a little bit faster than him. He has more power, but he's slower in distributing that power. And I feel like Anthony probably took him a little bit more serious just because he's actually a bigger heavyweight with power. And I feel like he did everything to make sure Francis didn't even get a chance to use it. So I don't have to make a prediction because I'm fighting, I'm not commentating. But you know, I love when people doubt me, so I'm never gonna doubt somebody if they believe in themselves.
Do you think he has a chance, Jake?
I mean, people think I'm crazy, but they yelled at me when I said I thought the fight with him and Anderson was even.
Frank. Smith reveals that putting together Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul was far simpler than people imagine. He explains that they didn't waste a second worrying about outside criticism or public skepticism. To him, boxing blends showmanship, business, and competition, and when a matchup checks all three boxes, delaying it makes no sense. Both fighters recognized a clear win. Joshua gets a massive event that keeps him active and draws worldwide attention, while Jake steps into the most significant challenge of his life along with a major payday. Smith argues that controversy fuels the sport, and this fight delivers exactly that. He says boxing has always thrived on bold personalities and unexpected pairings. Waiting for some ideal scenario slows everything down, while taking chances pushes the entire industry forward. Joshua and Jake understood the opportunity and seized it. For Smith, financial success doesn't diminish a matchup. It proves fans want to see it.